Welcome everyone to Ranked, where myself, Bede, and Marcy, we rank our top 10 based on a given subject. This is Marcy. You came up with this one. What is our topic for this month?
We are looking at our top 10 Stephen King adaptations, and we're including all types of Stephen King adaptations, not just horror. So it's our overall of what we've seen of the Stephen King adaptations and what our top 10 are.
Yeah, so this goes with the movie that movie that's coming out, The Long Walk, which is based on a Stephen King novel, which the movie actually looks pretty interesting. I just want to see Mark Hamill be the bad guy. Um, so we decided Stephen King adaptations could be any Stephen King adaptation you can think of. You want to rank. Some I'm probably gonna hate it because I've not seen the movies. Whatever. Doesn't bother me. You can hate me all you want, but but let's go. Let's start us off. Number 10. I'm very
Number
interested in
10.
this one. I got Thinner,
Oh,
Gerald's Game, and Cujo. Um, Bede, Gerald's Game, Netflix. What's going on?
Well, I think Gerald's Game is not only one of the more, well, it's obviously one of the more recent Stephen King adaptations, but I would say it's kind of both one of the most underrated, but also one of the best. Mainly because, from what I gather, because I haven't read the book itself, but from what I've heard from based on its reputation, given the type of story it has, which is essentially this woman, she is with her husband at this cabin. They decide to kind of spice up their marriage, so they start to play some sex games, so which include handcuffs, and then her husband has a heart attack and dies. And basically, since she's handcuffed to the bed in the book, it's just basically her narrating to herself the entire time. And some people would consider that like the book could be unfilmable because how do you find a way to make that interesting in a film? But I think Mike Flanagan found a way to do that by basically like having physical manifestations for the character of Jesse, played by J- Carla Gugino, to bounce off in her conversations, whether it's her dead husband or other characters, or even herself as well. So he finds a really interesting, compelling way to do it, but also a lot of things happen in this film that you're not exactly sure if it's all in her mind or if it's actually really happening. So there's definitely that sort of psychological element in there as well. But we also kind of get to the root of her own past and the sort of things that have trauma that she has faced in her life, especially from her own father and how that has affected her as an adult. So there's a lot going on in this film. And I think it's just such a brilliantly well done film. And it also has a scene that
don't,
every time I
don't,
watch this film,
don't, don't. I don't want to hear it. I hate it.
So I
I
haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, no, don't
Don't
no.
tell it.
spoil it.
It's horrific.
Don't spoil it.
I mean, I won't spoil what the scene is, but let's just say I was it every time I see the scene, it just makes me shudder really bad.
I
and,
never
and
want to
Marcy
see that
knows
scene again. Mm-mm.
no. It
I
is one of the
agree
most
with you.
horrifying
It
scenes.
it really is, but Gerald's Game is a fantastic film. Um, Absolutely worth a watch, but just be aware that one scene is very difficult to get through. But it is a very compelling and intriguing film.
All right. Um, so I went with Thinner. Um, I just think it's a fun movie.
It
I
is.
mean,
I love
you're
Thinner.
I mean, you feel so sorry. You feel so bad for the guy after a bit. I mean, he's embracing after the gypsy curses him to lose weight, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse. And then the whole thing with the pie at the end and the bead. You seen it?
Yes.
I had to ask. And then spoilers, the realization that he poisons his daughter as well as his wife. Well, he chose to poison his wife, but daughter accidentally. And I just think it's like it's a fun movie, and I kind of sad way, a sad way.
It's I would say it's a fun movie. Like, I am a really big fan of Thinner, and I always have been. But it's like a fun but fucked up movie, and it's just played, I think, at the perfect tone that it gets those um bits just really well. Like, I think it's quite an underrated film. I think it's underappreciated. I don't think people appreciate Thinner for what it is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Mm.
I think Fitter is one of those ones. Like I know a lot of people who don't like Fitter, but I feel like it has the way it works is that you have to get on its wavelength because it has a
Mm.
very specific tone. There's a lot of like it is definitely a horror film, but there's a lot of dark humor in it as well, and it just gets more and more messed up as it goes along. And Robert John Burke, who plays the lead role, he's great in it. And it's definitely it's I can see why people don't like it, but I think it's definitely also very underrated as well.
Yeah. And
Marcy, talk about Cujo.
yeah, my number 10 is Cujo. It is a very sad story of a poor dog who gets rabies, and he traps a mother and son in the car. And that's the movie. No, there's a lot going on in Cujo. It's
That's the
not
movie.
specifically about the dog with rabies. It has a lot to say about a lot of things. You've got the drama, you've got the mother and son. It's just such a fantastically crafted film, and it's like, you might think it is this killer dog film, but there's so much more going on, and it's the world building that we get, and I think that it just does a great job of incorporating everything. And again, the performances are fantastic. Like, you absolutely can't go wrong with Dee Wallace, and there are some truly frightening moments, but I just think, like, as a whole, as a film in itself, it's just fantastic. I don't know if there's anything I can really add to Cujo. It is Cujo. It is one of the most
Yeah.
well-known movies.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. All right. Number 9. I'm gonna
I'm
get
pretty sure
hate.
Chad is going to disagree with me on this one, even
I'm
being
gonna
in my
get
top 10.
hate. Pet Cemetery, Creep Show, and I went Misery.
Now, I'm just saying this is the original Pet Cemetery.
um. So I went Misery. Honestly, if you take out the hobbling scene, it would not be. If you take that out, I would not be in my list. The movie is kind of boring. It's just we're very repetitive throughout the whole. That
No,
what?
no. Misery is far from boring. It is one of the most, like, intense and compelling with these brilliant performances film.
The
That's my
acting was
opinion.
great. The acting was great, but it's take out the hobbling scene. The movie is not good. It's not memorable. That's my opinion. The
That's your
hobbling
opinion.
scene made the movie. It made the movie. That's my opinion. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, shut up. I'll have more to say on
Okay,
that later.
Okay.
Mm.
alrighty. Yeah, I'll go with mine. People are probably wondering, wait, Creep Show, but that's not based on anything. Well, a couple of the stories in the film are based on actual King short stories, and one of them, which he also stars in, and gives a masterclass of acting,
Meteor
which of
shit.
course is exactly, which of course is the segment, the lonely death of Jodie Verrill. So amazing performance by Stephen King.
Yeah.
It should be studied. But Creepshow is an absolutely fantastic movie. It is so vibrant. It feels like a comic book. All the segments are all strong. The performances are great. And I love that each segment does have its own specific tone. Some definitely go for more scares, others go for more
Mm.
dark comedy. But it is so good and it is so entertaining. Like that's the thing though with anthology horror films is like sometimes you'll have some pretty solid segments and so not so great ones, but every segment in this film is absolute fire. There is not a dud at all in this entire film. And it's just a hugely entertaining film from start to finish. So that's why Creepshow is my number 2.
I mean, should be in there, and it is one we have covered on our Stephen King podcast. It was one of the very first ones that we covered.
Indeed.
Yeah. So for me, Pet Cemetery, I absolutely love the film, and I know, Chad, you're not the biggest fan of it.
It's
You're
not
not
that
alone.
good.
You're not alone. There are a lot of people that don't think it's that great. I absolutely love it. I love everything about this film. I love the story and just how fucked up it ends up being. But we've also got, and I should give like the actual prop because I've got it. Hold on. Where are we here? And I dropped things. Never mind. But we've got Gage, played by Little. I also have another
Yeah.
Gage pop, but it is on the shelf somewhere. But yeah, like one of the big inciting things with the film is the death of Gage, their son, who gets hit by a truck and he gets brought back to life because you can do that at the pet cemetery, which is very mysterious, even though his father was warned against it, but also encouraged a little bit. But I don't know, it's the whole dynamic of this film and everything going on, and
Well,
it's just on a visual
excuse me.
level as well, a performance level. Um, Again, like, can you really go past Fred Gwynn's performance as Judd? Like, it's fantastic. Don't go down there now. And just, I don't know. I just love this film. I absolutely adore this film. It's fucked up in all the ways, and for me, it just delivers. And if there's nothing more I can add because so much has been said about Pet Cemetery,
Mm.
especially more recently because of the remake that came out a few years ago, which I wasn't the biggest fan of. There's things I appreciate in it, but I really adore this film. I just think for me, it knocks it out of the park. And I know people have issues with some of the performances. I don't care. I love them. And I adore Pet Cemetery.
All right. Number 8. I really don't think we're gonna match up on any. I really don't think we are.
Oh, you've got Cujo
Cujo, Salem 79 Salem Lot, and the Green Mile.
and the Green Mile.
I have not seen the Green Mile. I want to, but I just haven't seen it.
It is a long movie, so be prepared. But in saying that, it is a film that it is, what, 3 hours or so? It doesn't feel like it's that long. It does go fast. And again, like I think it was last year we covered the Frank Darabont adaptations of Stephen King, and this technically was his third because he did do a short film as well. But it's just something about him with the way he adapts King is that he understands King in a specific way, but he also takes parts from the stories and he knows how to kind of make it work for film, like making the right changes. Um, and that said, like this is a longer film, but I think you need it to be because you go on this extraordinary adventure and the setting, it's depressing, it's fucked up. You are on death row pretty much. And all the things that happen, the mysterious prisoner, um, and what he can do, and the stories. But then it's the stories with everybody, and it's just so beautifully shot. It's so beautifully written. It's so well acted. And as with King, you do have these despicable, like there is that one despicable character you want to see the worst happen to, and it's just so like, my anger that builds up for this character in this film. It's real. And I feel like it's a strength of King because he makes these characters that you either love or you hate, or he gives you some nuance with characters. And I think it's elevated in a way with how it's portrayed in the film. But it's just an amazing, it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful film. And Michael Clark Duncan is incredible, but everybody is so incredible and memorable in this film. And it's probably one of the only films you will see that starts off with Tom Hanks suffering a urinary tract infection. So props to that.
Indeed.
I went Cujo, kind of with what Marcy is. You got Dee Wallace, who's being the amazing person she is, saving her son. Who? What did he have that he kept asthma? Like every horror movie.
I'm trying to
Oh,
think. Does it? What's the?
I think it was
can't
asthma.
remember, to
If
be honest.
not,
It's been like a year and a half since I've watched it, but yeah, I think it's like asthma from memory.
so I mean that's a typical horror trope. But but what's cool. It's pretty much a one setting movie. It's
Mm.
her, the kid, and the dog, and the station, the shitty freaking car. But like you said, it's incredibly sad movie. You get this cool Saint Bernard dog and gets bit and just goes rabid, kills some people, and I just think it's a really good movie. It's just a nice one setting, and Dean Wallace just being the awesome Dee Wallace that she is.
Mm.
Well,
Uh,
I went with the 1979 version of Salem's Lot, which was a two-part miniseries. But I think what makes this one work as well as it does, it is. I personally feel it's still the best Stephen King miniseries because what makes it stand out compared to all the others is that it's genuinely scary. There is a lot of
Mm.
scary moments throughout this film. And I think Mr. Barlow, Curtin Barlow, even though yes, he's kind of modeled on Count Orlok in Nosferatu, he's still very creepy, and he's
He's
only in the movie for like at least 5 minutes. That's his total screen time, maybe even less. But he is such a presence throughout the whole film that you feel like he's in it a lot more. But it features a lot of great performances, and it also has the great James Mason, who Marcy and I love in that mini series. But it is just such a great film, and I think it really sort of captures that sort of small town Stephen King
mm,
vibe. And once the vampires start taking over, it just becomes even more compelling. And I mean, it's directed by Toby Hooper. What can I say? It is definitely up there also for me as one of Toby Hooper's best works as well.
it's fantastic, and I'll have
yeah.
more to say.
All right. You want to go to number 7?
Yeah,
Mine's a
speaking of
mine's a
miniseries,
mine's a fun one.
mine's not that fun. I do
Maxim
enjoy that
over
movie. I've got The
Yeah.
the
Stand.
stand, the TV share, this TV one, right? The
Yes, the
original.
original TV miniseries from
All right.
Mick Garris.
I went Maximum Overdrive.
We do love some weird Stephen King
Yes.
directed
All right.
madness.
I went for a tie with mine.
It 1
So
and
that's
2.
chapter 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Bede, why 1 and 2?
Well, I mean, I could have easily. I mean, if I had to pick between the two, I would say the first one I like a little bit more. But honestly, since they're both adapted from the same book, you can't really watch one without the other. But because they are
Mm.
basically just the same book split in parts, so I count it as one film.
Well, I
And
think
I think
when we first saw chapter 2, it was with a double feature with chapter 1, and
Oh
Mhm.
my god.
seeing them back to back in that way, like it forms like it feels like a full picture of a film. So I
Mm.
That's
absolutely am
5
fine with you
hours.
including them. Yeah,
And we loved every minute of it.
I don't like the
But
second one as much as the first one.
I mean, the first one I can definitely see why people. It is. I mean, the kids are amazing in it. It is scary. It has great atmosphere. But I will go to bat for the second one because the
as will
adult
I.
section in the original book is has always been very divisive for a lot of people, and I can definitely understand why. But I think they did a great job with it in chapter 2 because they went in a tonally different direction. Like with the first one, since you'll kind of see it from the perspective of kids, it definitely is going to be a lot more scarier. But with chapter 2, since our characters are now 40 years old, it goes for a much more darker comedy kind of aspect, which I think a lot of people kind of don't realize, especially in both the original book and even the original TV series. Because again, we're seeing these absurd things that Pennywise does from the perspective of adults. And when you kind of see it from that point of view, like, yeah, Pennywise's like shenanigans are like, what the hell? But also, too, I feel like part two works best as a sort of a horror comedy, more so than the first one. And I just think it's actually a pretty well done version. I think the cast as the adult actors are pretty great. And yeah, I mean, to me, I love both movies for different reasons. And to me, that's why they're kind of tied at number 7.
Um, who doesn't love a coked up Stephen King making some crazy ass movie about trucks killing everyone?
Yes.
This
Yes.
movie was, I mean, this movie is bad, but it's a very fun bad.
It's a
If it's so
fun
bad,
movie. Yeah.
it's so bad, they just put text over an ending. I mean, it's just fun. I mean, you can tell. I mean, the cinematographer lost his damn eye in the movie, which is definitely awful. But you can tell the cast pretty much was like, whatever, we're just gonna have fun with this thing. And Emilio Estevez is in it. Lisa Simpson's voice
I
is
was gonna
in
say
it,
Lisa
and
Simpson is in it.
Giancarlo is in it briefly. The
Stephen
stereotypical
King
black
has a
man stealing.
lovely cameo at the beginning.
What do you say? This
And
machine called me
also,
an asshole.
And also, let's not forget, it has one of the greatest soundtracks ever from Australian band AC/DC.
Yes, I mean it's if you ever want to just watch something just crazy that's stupid, but it's a whole lot of fun. You see a kid get run over by a steamroller. You see the dummy very clearly, but still, this movie is freaking awesome. I love it.
I think both Bede and I are in agreement that we do love Maximum Overdrive for probably all the wrong reasons, but it is a
Yeah.
blast to watch. It really is just a fun, stupid movie.
The Stand,
The Stand.
1994, not the
Yeah,
new one.
no, I was not a fan of
I haven't seen it yet.
one season limited series at all. And I think I made my thoughts on that very clear when we did our podcast on it. But this original miniseries, I mean, the original miniseries, um, I just think it's fantastic. It's so it leads to it's epic because it is a miniseries. They were able to let it breathe and grow, but it's something to be said about watching something like this around the time of when we had lockdowns and everything. Like it hits on another level completely. Um, but it's just so well, I think, thought out, paced. You get all these characters, and I think they're just all really well cast, and everyone does such a great job. Like some are more memorable than others. People might have issues with some of the casting. I didn't personally. Like, I think Gary Sinise is a great lead. Um, but there's just so many great things about it, and just I think the pacing of it, how it tells this story, how it brings everyone together through this like almost apocalyptic event. And I feel like for me, I think it's one of the best things Mick Garris has done, if not the best thing that he's done as a director. And he has done quite a few things of Stephen King's, but I think this one is like the one. I just feel like he understood that material. He knew exactly what to do with it, and I think that's why it's one of my, I think, favorite, but in general, I think it is one of the best overall Stephen King adaptations, but Stephen King miniseries. It's so worth watching. It is worth the time to watch it. And there's just so much to appreciate about it. And like, how can you go wrong with the credit sequence playing to Don't Fear the Reaper? It
Yeah.
hits. It gives you
And
everything, and you're
that
like, what
cast.
in for? Yeah, the cast
It,
is insane. It's an amazing cast. There's so many people in it, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but Randall Flagg in this, I think, is just so
oh,
well
give me a
done.
second. I'll look that up.
He's
Jamie
like I
Sheridan.
yeah, that's it. Jamie
Mm.
Sheridan. He's just so good. Like I loved him in this role, and if I compare it to an actor that I really love, Alexander Skarsgård, who played the same character in the limited series, it's day and night for me. Like he does fine, but it's not. I don't know. It feels too typical. Whereas this, he gives us just something that is unexpected, and you kind of really like. What's the right word? You're magnetically drawn to this character, but kind of repulsed at the same time. So I just think it's a fantastic miniseries.
And he also has the mullet too, Marcy. Let's not
Yes.
forget.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I was gonna say he's got the
All
best
right.
hair.
Number 6.
Oh,
Oh, we did
we got a
match.
match.
And we got the return of the Green Mile. Um, I'll start off with Carrie. I did read the book. It's probably the shortest Stephen King book.
It's a very
Um,
short book.
very easy read too.
Mm.
Um, it's just like you feel sorry for Carrie watching this. She's humiliated from the principal to the students, in horrible, horrible ways. Um, so you kind of root for her. I'm not gonna lie. And that final scene though, with the at the prom, it's so freaking awesome. You're rooting for all the bullies to get killed. Um, it's just Sissy Spacek is just amazing. This cast is simply amazing. I would say this is probably one of his best horror related casts in a movie. But I just think I Carrie's really 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 good.
Yeah, it's one of the like earliest books that I read from Stephen King from memory, and it is like a really easy one to get through. And the film adapts it really, really well. Like there are some changes, but it kind of fits with how this story's being told. And I will give props to the 2002 miniseries with Angela Bettis as Carrie that I thought was really good, but they also could add a bit more. But just this film, it's so well done. You do feel sorry for Kerry, like you're on her side. The bullies are deplorable. They're absolutely horrible people. But
Plug
it's
it up.
shot yeah, plug it up. Like that's like horrible. Why would you do that to somebody? But then why would you spill all the blood on them on prom? Like all of the things. They're horrible, horrible people. You do have like I guess it's Sue, who's not as much of an asshole, but characters like John Travolta in it, and oh my god, I'm forgetting names tonight. What's her
William Cat.
name? I mean, William Katniss, beautiful hair as well.
He
But the main
dies,
girl,
right? Does he die
yes,
from the freaking bucket hit in his head?
I think so.
Yes.
I'm like, he
Uh,
does. The main bully girl, it's Nancy Allen, right?
It's
yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
so deplorable. But then you've got
And John
Piper
Travolta.
Laurie as yeah, and Piper Laurie as the mother, and she knew exactly what she was doing in that role, and it's so good. Like, yeah, she's campy and over the top, but it fucking works.
Yeah.
And don't show off your dirty pillows. That's very naughty. But Carrie is an absolute classic. It is as a girl who dealt with bullying in school. It's so relatable. Like, you kind of wish you had those powers to show them a lesson, but even though that is very wrong. But it's just such a fantastically done film, but it on a visual level as well, it's really something, especially in that third act at the prom. It's magnificent, and all credit goes to Brian De Palma for what he did with it. And it's such a different movie from um a lot of his other ones around the same time. So I appreciate when someone makes something so drastically different, but it's still got this beautiful style, but there is substance with that style. So Kerry is fantastical.
All right, Bede.
Yeah, well, I went with the Green Mile as pretty much the exact same sentiment as Marcy gave earlier. It is a wonderful film. Even though it is over 3 hours long, it doesn't feel it at all. It is
Mm,
beautifully crafted. It has amazing performances. Tom Hanks obviously is great in it, but you kind of have to give a shout out to the late great Michael Clark Duncan, who's definitely the heart of the film.
yes,
And it's
he's just beautiful in that film. Like, his
mm,
performance, it touches you right in the feels. It really does.
it does, and it is a movie that has its heart on its sleeve, but it also at the same time doesn't forget to be dark and also even horrifying in a lot of ways as well.
Oh,
So it
there's a scene
yeah,
in that film, and I don't want to spoil it, and it's to do with execution, and it gives me nightmares when I think about it from the first moment I saw that scene. And
mm,
again, it's this one fucking asshole character that is the cause of this, but it's just that um the cruelty of people,
mm.
and it's something that stays with me. Anyway, I keep cutting you off.
Well, that's all right. Well, I think it's just a wonderful film that everyone should definitely see. And Chad, you need to check it out because I think
I will.
you'll really like
Yeah, I definitely will.
He better.
it.
I will. All right, number 5.
Well, mine's already been brought up, so oh, another match.
Oh.
Oh,
I'll start with it.
Yeah.
I think Skarsgård is amazing as Pennywise. I
Mm.
mean, he did a different take as Tim Curry, which I think he made it. I think his was creepier
mm.
than Tim Curry's. I think it was I think it was the look made him more creepier than
I think it was
the
more that old
colors
fashioned and muted
and
colors look.
that smile he
Yeah.
does, which is natural for him.
Mm,
But I think the kids made the movie. They
mm.
picked the absolute best kid actors to play these roles. Um, and it's just they did a really amazing job. And even the movie's like 2 something hours, it goes by it goes
Mm.
by fast. Unlike the second one, which I'm not a fan of. Um, it, it's okay, but it's 3 hours long and you feel the 3 hours. Um, I just think this is I don't want to say it's better than the miniseries because those are two different things. Um, but I think this is one of his I think they did it justice with this movie. And I think the kids made the movie.
Yeah. But it's such a great cast. Like, they all nailed those roles so well. As far as the miniseries goes, because people might have noticed, I none of us have picked that yet, but I'm not the biggest fan. Like, there are parts that I really like about it, and there's parts that I don't. But again, I feel like in the miniseries, it's the section with the kids because they're so well cast. They're such great actors that really works. But that menacingness of Tim Curry as Pennywise works for that as well because it's got this campiness to it, whereas it's so much more serious and horrific in this version. That's why I feel like that Pennywise to me is more terrifying. But I
Mm.
certainly am not going to go down there with either of them offering me a balloon or whatever. You know.
All
And
right. Who wants to talk about
Misery, Bede.
Misery?
Misery is a
Oh, I think
masterpiece, and Kathy Bates deserved that Oscar.
exactly. I will say with what I think is amazing about Misery as a film, again, kind of similar to Gerald's Game. Like, how is it possible you can tell a whole film where it's basically just somebody basically stuck in bed most of the time? But I think Rob Reiner does an amazing job with creating so much tension between throughout the entire film, especially with the relationship between Annie, played by Kathy Bates, and also Paul, played by James Caan. I think their back and forth between each other is excellent. I think James Caan is very underrated in terms of his performance in this film because it's
Oh,
a very
absolutely.
cast against yeah, it's a very cast against type of performance as well, especially for an
Mm,
actor who's known to play tough guy characters.
mm.
And Kathy Bates is just on another level. She deserved that Oscar. She is amazing throughout this entire film. She is scary. Like, she's sweet and innocent, and then all of a sudden she'll just switch it and become absolutely evil. But I think also too, what's great about the movie and why it still holds up incredibly well is like it really goes into toxic fandom and like just how far fans will go. And I think like the movie does such a great job with exploring that. And also you can see it as like an using it as a subtext for drug addiction, because even Stephen King himself has said like the movie could be seen as that since he was taking a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
drugs at the time.
Yeah.
But it
yeah.
is like I think it just holds up incredibly well, and it's just brilliant from start to finish.
For me, it's so intense because you know that there's something fucked up going on. Like he gets stuck with this woman, and it's all a setup because she's obsessed with him as a writer. But like you think about how fandoms are so toxic now. Like for me, if I'm like even just scrolling a thread online, I feel like I'm Paul Sheldon being hobbled because it's just so horrific. All the bullshit that you see from a fandom over one freaking movie or some bloody decision. It's like, calm the fuck down and shut up. It feels like I'm living through misery as I'm Paul Sheldon. But for me, the film is compelling from beginning to end. I love that we have this mostly one setting with just these two characters and they play off each other, but then there's the tension because you feel for Paul and you want him to get out. And it's like as soon as he gets a chance, she's right on it, and you are scared for what is going to happen to this poor guy. And he gets hobbled, and it is horrific. It was changed from the book because I do believe that she decapitates his feet.
I think
Mhm.
so.
Um, but I feel like the hobbling is almost like more horrific because it's like, yeah, if she cut his feet off, like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Like he'll live without his feet and deal with it. Like you can cauterize the wound and stuff, but his feet are fucked up from the hobbling. Like it is, oh my god. Like that fear in him and what she's like, ugh. But I just think it's so brilliantly done. I absolutely love Misery. For me, like it it doesn't feel like you're watching a 2-hour movie. It goes so fast because for me, I'm just so invested. Doesn't matter how many times I watch it, I get drawn into it. Sorry, chat.
It's fine. It's fine. We all have our opinions.
Exactly. I'm ready for
All
number
right.
4.
Yep. Number 4. This is actually non-traditional horror for me, but Carrie, Salem's Lot, and I went Stand by Me. Um, I'll start with Stand by Me since we haven't talked about it yet. Very, very classic coming of age story. 4 young kids trying to go into a dead body. Amazing actors. The most notable one is Jerry O'Connell, I would say, is the most notable one on there. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it still resonates with me. Just how awesome the movie is. And it was in 87. 86. Yeah, so you had Corey, you had what, River Phoenix, Corey Feldman, Jerry O'Connell. Who am I
Will
forgetting?
Wheaton.
Will Wheaton, and then Kiefer Sutherland for Dreyfus. Amazing cast. The kids grow up to be names. I do think Jerry O'Connell is probably the biggest name of the bunch, but that's just me. But I just think just the storytelling that he did. I haven't read the book, but I just think the storytelling and the directing um by Rob Reiner is just, it's like fascinating. It's like, as you watch it, it's like, who hasn't gone to the, I'm not gonna say look for a dead body, but who hasn't gone on a trip with their friends and experienced things, it's an everyday thing, it's a childhood for everyone. So I just think it was a well told story.
I'll have more to say on that later.
Okay.
Well, I think
um
with Carrie, I mean, you both pretty much already said it. It is an amazing film, just so brilliantly handled by Brian De Palma. Amazing performances. Sissy Spacek is fantastic, and Piper Laurie is as well. And they both got Oscar nods for their performances as well, and well deserved. I mean, it's just an iconic film, and it's still. I mean, Carrie has been adapted many times over the years, and there will be another adaptation coming very soon from Mike Flanagan. But I feel like at the end of the day, this version of the story is still the best one, and it's just so brilliantly handled, and one that even decades from now, it's still going to be as beloved as it is.
Mm. And mine, which you already had on your list, Bede, the 79 miniseries of Salem's Lot. For me, it's my favorite, and I think it is the best miniseries from a Stephen King adaptation. Um, I just adore it. I love it. Toby Hooper is just has been one of my favorites for a long time. Um, and it's absolutely, I feel like it's always underrated because people don't tend to bring it up as much when
no.
discussing his filmography, which is bizarre. But it is, again, as you said, it's so engaging. It world builds where you get to know this town and the people. It's really well cast. Again, shout out to James Mason. He's great, but everybody is really damn good in this. And again, on the visual level alone, it is so just creepy, but atmospheric. Like, you remember the kid at the window, like that is absolutely terrifying. It really, really is.
It is.
And but just the
It's
whole
still
thing,
iconic to this day.
it is the whole thing. It's a mini series. It's long, but it doesn't feel it. It engages you and invests you in the story and the characters. Um, and it's just so really well done. And as you mentioned, Bede, like Barlow is a character that you hear about, but you don't see him really that much. His look is still memorable and creepy, but it's just the fact that it's a presence that's there makes him feel like a bigger of a character than what he is. It's more about this town and what's happening. Um, Whereas you don't really see him that much, but yeah, it's just how it's handled that he feels like he was in it more than he was. And again, I just encourage people should absolutely watch Salem's Lot. Skip the
I
other
kind
films
of,
if you don't need to see them.
I kind of wonder with the remake that came out last year on HBO Max or
Oh, they
Max, whatever
definitely
you.
cut out like an hour, hour and a half of
I
that
I'm
because
kind of curious
so
how many
much
people
rushed.
went back and watched the original
Mm.
too. So I'm very curious about that.
The newer one felt like, I think BG said this when we covered it. It's like a Cliff Notes version because it hits the beats, but it does so really, really fast. And you feel like so much was cut out. So I think if there was an actual longer version of that, it may have been better because there was some solid ground on it. But it didn't get to explore anything, unfortunately, because it was just so short.
And where can people listen to your guys' review of that?
You can check out the King Zones podcast over at supermarcey.com, or you can find it on your podcast streaming players everywhere.
Very nice. All right, our top 3.
I'm pretty sure Bede knows exactly what my top 3 is, but whatever.
I mean,
Stand By Me, The Shining, and The Dead Zone.
Dead.
Dead Zone. Talk about that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, so David Cronenberg doing a Stephen King. I gotta say, with a lot of the Stephen King adaptations, like especially through the sort of 80s, there's a lot of interesting directors attached that did them.
Yeah.
I think it Carpenter with Christine and so forth. But yeah, since I first discovered The Dead Zone, I have absolutely loved and adored this film so much. It is, for me, it's a powerful film. I mean, Christopher Walken may not be the person you think could portray the character, because I guess more now people think of him as, I don't know, maybe something he's not, but he gives like this really beautiful performance, um, as this man who wakes up from a coma years later, and he suddenly has these abilities to see things, and he hits all these notes. Like, it's such an amazing performance from him. But again, everyone around him is fantastic. Like Martin Sheen as the asshole politician, he's on point. Um, oh my god, I'm forgetting everybody's names. Tom Skerritt as the sheriff is really good. Brooke
Oh
Adams
yeah,
as the
yeah.
love interest. Like, it's got a fantastic cast, and the story. Like, there's some really horrific parts. Like, and people aren't sure what to think of the character of John, because like, what the fuck is going on? He's woken up from a coma, blah blah blah, and he can suddenly predict things. And some of those visions are very terrifying, but it has this kind of bittersweet ending. And you kind of don't want to see the worst happen to this character, but what he does kind of saves the world. And if only someone would do that now, we'd be forever grateful. But
Did you watch the miniseries, the TV show they did with Anthony Michael
um,
Hall?
I watched like one episode and I could not get into it.
Yeah, I
Right.
watched a few. It was okay. It was not like the movie at all.
Mm,
Like the movie had, because it's not on my list, but the movie has like a kind of like a tone to it that I think it's more Walken than anything, because Christopher Walken, he commands the screen anytime he's on.
mm,
But I think he helped the movie, because Dead Zone is a really good movie. It's just I didn't consider, I'd be like maybe 12 or 13 for me. But I just think Christopher Walken made that movie. But the TV series was okay. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but I think it was okay for what they did.
mm. It's just always, I think, been one of my favorites, and just something that really resonated with me. Um, it's a film I remember showing my dad, who's not the biggest like horror fan, but he found this really engaging and an interesting story. And I think it is something that is quite easily accessible, because it's got all these other elements, but I think it's just so
Mhm.
strong and so well done. Um, I love it to pieces.
Um, so I went The Shining. Very, you see like the downgrade of Jack Nicholson throughout the movie, and he just gets crazier throughout the movie,
Didn't you
and it's
pick
just
the Garrus miniseries of The Shining?
no, I did not. That was Steven Weber, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I went with the movie, the Stanley Kubrick movie. Like, you're right. He had a lot of big directors had their hands on Stephen King stuff. Um, this Jack Nicholson made this movie. I mean, he was just terrifying. Very cool scenes that Stanley Kubrick did. Very amazing cinematography. how they did the hotel.
I mean, the
Uh,
visual scale of The Shining alone is incredible.
hasn't been. I don't think it's been topped in any. It chapter one did, and chapter two did attempted it, but I don't think anything can top The Shining. Um, it's just The Shining's definitely worth a watch. Um, out of any of his Stephen King movies or adaptations. So I mean, I absolutely love it. Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall, rest in peace. So you feel so bad for her after you find out
You
what
really
happens with
actually
her.
feel for Wendy and Danny, and
Yeah.
especially like just on the performance alone with Jack Nicholson, like you do see this character like crumble in this hotel um significantly. But I think just the performances by the three of them are just
Mhm.
very, very strong. It a spoiler, this is not on my top 10. But I do think it's a fantastic film. I do always find it interesting that King notoriously hated it because it changed so
Yeah.
much when other adaptations that he hasn't really been as vocal on have also changed things. And I find it interesting how um, he and Mick Garris developed that mini series, and it's okay. It is very campy. It is very, very campy.
Aren't
And
all
I kind of
TV miniseries
appreciate that a
campy?
little bit. Yeah, I mean, I would say Salem's Lot in the Stand, not so campy, but
Who played Wendy
it's
in
just
the
quite
TV
silly.
series? Remember?
Um, oh my God, what's her
Rebecca
name?
De Mornay. Rebecca
That's
De
it,
Mornay.
Rebecca De Mornay. And
Okay,
she, I
that's
think,
a
is
pretty
actually
good cast.
really good in it as well. Um, but some of it is just very, some of it's so hokey that I kind of think it's hilarious. I don't hate that version. It's a funny kind of thing. But yeah, I just wanted
Mhm.
to get my 2 cents in a little bit there.
All right, B.
Well, I mean, The Shawshank Redemption, what can I say about this movie? It is
Are you
an
sure that was
absolute
what was written
classic.
down? Because I thought you had Stand By Me.
Oh, sorry, Stand By Me, sorry. Spoilers for the next one. Anyways, Stand By Me. Well, Stand By Me, I think, is definitely up there as one of the great coming of age stories. It is so beautifully handled. Rob Reiner, once again, just knows how to do a pitch perfect Stephen King adaptation. And it is just phenomenal. All four leads are fantastic, and it really sort of captures like what it's like to be a kid. And I think what's great about the movie is you can watch it at any different stage in your life, whether you're a kid, a teenager, a young adult, middle age, or even old. It's going to hit you differently. And
Mhm.
and every time I go back to watch this film every few years, it always does. And there's a reason for that because I think in a lot of ways we can relate to the characters and their personal struggles that they go through and sort of the things that sort of happen to them. Like even though yes, they're all different, there's something you can relate to on every specific level with all these characters. And I think it's just a pitch perfect movie. I think it's amazing.
All right. So we already know Bede's number two, but you still got to show it, Bede.
I mean, it's the Shawshank Redemption. There we go.
Mine is also The Shawshank
I
Redemption.
went The Mist.
Okay,
Um,
Andy.
so you guys start off with you guys start off. Just to let you know this is not on my list.
Yes, I know you haven't seen it.
I have not seen it.
The Shawshank Redemption is actually just one of my all-time favorite films. It is, for me, it's a masterpiece. It's beautiful from start to end. I mean, the characters, again, everybody is just so well cast. They play it so well. And I actually really appreciate the changes from novella to film. Whereas in the novella, Andy deals with different wardens. And the fact that with this film, he deals with the one warden the whole time he's in prison, um, like really elevates the story being told, especially with his, um, like what he's going through. So things like that, I think work fantastically well. Like it's such a great adaptation that kind of elevates the source material. It's still a really interesting read. I'd absolutely recommend Different Seasons. It is maybe one of my favorite books of all time. It does have The Body, which Stand By Me is from, as well as Apt Pupil, and a very bizarre story, The Breathing Method, which I don't know. I don't think they've actually adapted yet, which would be really difficult to do with what that's about. But back to
I
Shawshank
think so.
Redemption. It's just, for me, it's a masterpiece. I love everything about it. I can watch it every day for a week and not get bored. It's the film that gave us the beautiful Morgan Freeman narration throughout the film. Just what can I say about it? It is like, I can't watch this film without crying through multiple parts, and I think people know what part like can break a
I
person
don't.
watching it. People that have seen it. But just everything, and its core message of just hope being a beautiful thing to have. Um, it's just amazing.
Yeah, I'm in
B, do you
agreement.
want?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I'm in agreement with Marcy. I think The Shawshank Redemption is a masterpiece. There's no, watching the movie, and by the end of it, you could definitely see why this movie is as beloved as it is and why it's considered one of the greatest films ever made. It is just, again, such a pitch perfect film from beginning to end. And it also kind of just shows that Frank Darabont just knows how to adapt King to the big screen. And
Well, I
it's
guess
just,
to reiterate, like, he adapts the story like very, very well, but the changes that he made really elevate the film. And they're
mm,
smart changes, not to take anything away from King's written works. I think on that film scale, it really works, and it helps you like resonate with Andy as a character.
definitely.
And isn't it like the ultimate guys movie too?
Yes. But it's a movie that everyone could love, regardless of what age, background, or anything.
I'll I'll watch it. Just didn't seem like it just didn't seem like it was interested in me, but I'll watch it. You guys sold me. Um, I went the Mist. One for the unpredictability of it. I mean, it's kind of like because I'm trying to think when this was made.
I want to come out
Because
2007.
late 2000s, yeah, 7 or 8. So it was like before Walking Dead, because Walking Dead was like
Mm.
Frank Darabont. You guys said he does knows how to bring his movies to life, and it's true with The Mist because he did with Walking Dead. It's unpredictability. You didn't know who was going to die. You had the same thing with The Mist as well. Because I thought Andre Baumgartner was going to, or Brower was going to stay alive, but he was great. Thomas Jane was great, and the MVP of the movie, Marcia Gay Harden, who you absolutely hated her. I just think it was very scary, especially how they did it when they did it re-release it in black and white. Make makes the movie so much better. I do not understand why, but it makes the movie so much better. Um, it's just a lot. So much stuff you want to see in the mist that they didn't show, which I'm guessing budgetary reasons, um, but there's like that. It was just amazing movie, one setting movie, and the acting drove the movie, which was Thomas Jane and pretty much Marcia Gay Harden, who is literally the best thing about this movie because you hated her so much, and then you get to that ending, and you literally like it hits you because what would you do in that situation? You know, um, it's just that ending is just so gut wrenching and sad. And if he just would have waited 10 more seconds, it would have been fine. But that ending was like the ending of endings, in my opinion. All right. We are
I
at
just
our
don't have
num
anything to add because I feel like I got all my you can listen to me discuss The Mist on our Stephen King podcast, the King Zones podcast.
Yes,
It's not something I hate, but I had some feelings on it. But yes.
Okay. Definitely check out the podcast to listen to Marcy's opinion on The Mist and all of the Stephen King movies. But we are at number 1. Let's see if we got anything.
No surprise to anybody that knows me.
All right, The Shining, Doctor Sleep, and Stand by Me. I'll start with Doctor Sleep since we haven't talked about it. This is an amazing sequel. Mike Flanagan, like, he was already an up and coming director. I think he made a name for himself with this movie. Ewan McGregor is great. Rebecca Ferguson she was awesome. She's like cockiness and everything. I just love the cast. I love the story. Like, you watch The Shining and be like, well, how can they do a sequel to that without knowing the books? And then you go to Doctor Sleep and be like, wow, that's a damn good sequel. I think it's better than The Shining because I don't know. I think it's just my age. Because it's newer. I think it just resonates me more. But I just think the storytelling, the acting, Mike Flanagan's amazing directing. I just think it's definitely worth like a top build, in my opinion, for Stephen King.
I think what I really like, I love Doctor Sleep. I think it's such a fantastic film. But I think what I appreciate a lot is that it works as a sequel, and it is a book sequel, but it works as a sequel to book, but also film, even though they
Mhm.
are very vastly different. They found a way to kind of make that really, really work, and I really, really liked that about it. And sort of the expansion of like the power of the shine and uh like these villains, like everything is just so really interesting and very well done and explored, and performance wise, like they're so damn good.
Bede, what was yours, real quick?
Mine was The Shining from 1980.
Okay. Okay. Just wanted to make sure because I'm tallying up now. So,
Yeah, well, I'll go with The Shining. I can totally understand why Stephen King's not a fan of this version of the book. I can understand why fans of the book don't like this film because it's
Cough,
Stanley
Steve,
Kubrick.
cough. Our
Yes,
friend
because
Steve
Stephen.
is a
Yes,
bit of a has thoughts on this film.
yes, and also because Stanley Kubrick changed a lot. But honestly, I don't fucking care. I saw the Mick Garris miniseries, which is more faithful, and that miniseries, if the book is like that miniseries, it's a piece of shit. Anyways, or at least the miniseries, anyway. But the movie itself, yes, it may. I think as on its own as a film, it just works brilliantly. It, I would say, it's a very captivating film. It is very unnerving. It is creepy. I love Jack Nicholson's performance in it, even though from the very beginning he looks like he's already crazy anyway. But that's
That's just
beside the
Jack Nich-
point. Exactly. But it's such an interesting film that has so many different layers, and the fact that there's been so many like essays, documentaries, and just so much on this film about what it is trying to actually say. And some of it I have read and seen and thinking like, okay, there's maybe something to there, and others that are so batshit insane it has to be
It's kind of
seen to be
hilarious.
believed. Like, did is the theme of the movie either about the sort of the how America has treated Native Americans, or is it about Stanley Kubrick possibly faking the moon landing? Like, it could be a lot of things, but on its own, it is a creepy ghost story. It has amazing performances. R.I.P. Shelley Duvall, who I over the years, like, I have grown to appreciate her performance. It is definitely one of the best frightened performances ever put on film, and it's just a marvel of a film. I think it's a master at his craft, taking something that is, taking something off Stephen King's and doing his own spin on it. And that is why it's my favorite Stephen King adaptation.
So I don't know if she was more scared of Jack Torrance or Stanley Kubrick.
I mean, it could also be that too, so I can't
It could be
begrudge.
And yeah, my number one, Stand By Me. It also happens to be my favorite movie of all time. So anyone that knows me should know that is what was going to be number one. There's nothing I can add. It is a film that just means everything to me. Since I was a kid, I watched it repeatedly. I've read the story, the novella, the body many times, and again, like Rob Reiner just captured something so beautifully. And Stephen King himself has said, like, this film is better than my writing. Um, One of the only cases he's ever said that. And again, it's taking the right parts to tell the story. And there's other parts in the novella that you didn't really need to form this story. And it's just told in and 90 minutes or so, and it's told so beautifully and so perfectly. And each one of these characters, there's just something that resonates that you can feel. But King also, like, wrote about um like this is kind of his story of growing up at that time as well, so there's a lot of him in there. I think like the leeches was something that actually happened to him. um
Yeah.
and I do think that the character of Ace, played by Kiefer Sutherland in the film, like, he's a character that appears elsewhere in the King universe. I think it's the Needful Things book, from memory. So it's kind of
But not the
bizarre that, like,
miniseries?
no, I don't think they added that. No. But it's interesting that, like, this little novella has the characters, you still see these names around, but um like, so much of me growing up related to um Gordy's character, and but just the other characters as well. I just love everything about this film. Like, I cannot watch this film without crying the entire time, quoting the whole thing. Um it means everything to me. Like, I have memories of, like, the teacher just being like, "Okay, we're going to watch Stand By Me and do an essay." Before we started the movie, I'm pretty sure I'd written most of my essay on it because I knew it so well. And then I had, like, my friend sitting next to me telling me to shut up every 5 minutes because I couldn't stop quoting it out loud, because it's my movie. It stands by me. And yeah, I'm forever thankful that this film
Pun intended.
yeah, I'm forever thankful this film exists. And it's just everything to me. So that's my number one. I'm my number one of all
Are
time. So yeah,
it number one of all time, eh?
my all-time favorite film.
All right. So you guys want to see the top
Yes.
three?
I'm
Do you have any?
curious,
All
actually.
right. So at number 3 with
Oh,
17
Carrie.
points was Carrie. So Misery was fourth at 14. Me having it low ruined that.
Yeah,
So
you ruined it. No.
and a tie for 2,
Ooh,
Shawshank Redemption and the 1980s, The Shining at 18 points.
Ooh.
very nice.
So those are definitely tied.
Is number
And
one Stand
then
By Me?
you called it. Stand By Me at number 1. Definitely, we're not, I mean, this is our opinion of our things, but you're not going to go wrong with any of those
No,
4 or 5, 6 movies.
not at all. Not at all.
These are pretty much our recommendations for the
Yeah,
movies.
it's our
But
thoughts and feelings, and yeah. But
but
Stand By
I
Me
think
being number one makes me very fucking happy for this list.
I think that's definitely worthy, and that's his. I mean, you guys like Green. You've seen Green Mile and Shawshank. Where is Stand By Me? Which one's the best non-horror?
Oh.
Stand By Me.
Obviously, Bede. non-bias.
I'm gonna have to say the Shawshank Redemption, but Stand By Me is very close.
Mhm. So, but that is our top 10 of Stephen King adaptations. Very good list from all three of us. Um, Definitely watch The Long Walk. This will be out before when it's movies in theaters. I'll definitely be seeing that opening weekend. Definitely check out our live streams of A Bloody Good Time. Um, Check out supermarcey.com, Bede versus the Living Dead. Bede, I know, do you have anything new coming up? Because we're in September, we're close to Halloween. Do you have anything coming up theme wise?
Ooh, well, I think I can't really say just yet, but I do know in terms of the main episodes of the show. Like I may do some pretty awesome stuff around it. I do plan on doing a bonus episode on a Halloween set zombie film. So I haven't decided which one yet, but you can stay tuned for that. And I'm also thinking of other little surprises here and there as well. But in terms of the main show, I would say I think it's definitely going to be looking at one of the two main episodes I'll be doing for that month will be looking at the Day of the Dead TV series. Will definitely be coming up.
Wait, there was a
And then
Day of the
also
Dead TV series?
Yes. Yes.
yes, it
It
was for
wasn't
the
long.
Sci-Fi Channel. It was only
Eh,
went for one season.
yeah. It
And
was
also up
when was it? Was it late 90s?
oh no, it was 2022.
Wait, what? Am I thinking of something different?
I
Maybe.
don't know. Is
I
there
thought,
something that
well, I
I'm
know
not aware of that I
sci-fi
need to
sci-fi releases so much weird stuff.
do?
Um, Marcy, what about on this? What about on the Super Network? What do you got going on in
All I'm gonna
September?
say is stay tuned. Our schedule is very erratic. Has been for most of the year, but I'm sure that there will be things coming up that people can look forward to.
That's
And
awesome.
of course,
So
watch our live games and go back and watch older live games because they're
yes, and
all a lot of fun.
yes, and if
Yes.
definitely, if you guys definitely leave a comment of your favorite, if what Stephen King movies we missed. I'm sure we missed a bunch. Graveyard Shift was gonna be on my list, but I'm
I'm not
like,
a
I
fan of
love
Graveyard
Spinner,
Shift.
huh?
I'm not a fan of Graveyard Shift.
Not everyone is, but I think it's just
Mm.
it's stupid
E-
fun.
Especially after now reading the short story, which you can hear my thoughts on the King Zone's Book Club podcast, where we've been reading short stories and discussing them. Um, like there was a few that didn't make my list, mostly because I actually have all my Stephen King stuff ranked. Um, so yeah, certain things just didn't make it. Like obviously on my list, I didn't have The Shining. If I didn't include the two miniseries and just stuck to straight film adaptations, that would have been there. Um, the Dark Half,
Didn't you?
Creep Show are other ones that are right up there. Same with It
Yes,
Chapter
Dark Half.
One.
Yes.
Mm.
Doctor Sleep, Gerald's Game as well are right up there. One of my
Didn't
sort
you
of
just see Life of Chuck?
yes. Um,
And
I need to
would
actually add
that
that to my ranking.
would that have
It's a
made the
very
list?
different film from Mike Flanagan and Stephen King, to be fair.
Okay.
But one I do want to give a shout out to, it's one of my favorite um, Stephen King adaptations, and I just adore it so much, but it didn't quite make my list. Hearts in Atlantis. Again, it's not a horror one, but it
Mm.
is absolutely beautiful film. And Anthony Hopkins, Anton Yelchin, it's just it's incredible. But I also want to give a shout out to an underrated horror from a Stephen King adaptation with The Night Flyer.
Yeah, that was one of my lists. I mean, he's got so many. Running Man, Tales from the Dark Side. Sometimes they come back. Silver Bullet. There's so many movies that you could list on here
Yeah, Silver Bullet is
that
another like underrated, like just really genuinely good film.
yeah. It's just he has so much great works, but some bad ones too. But
I mean, I
who
could do a
doesn't?
whole list on the worst Stephen King adaptations.
What would your number one be?
The worst?
Yeah.
Probably the 2022 Children of the Corn remake,
Haha.
which was
I
already
was
been
gonna
on a
say
list
maybe.
because I hate it
Yeah,
so
that was on
much.
our worst remakes.
Yeah.
I think Bede and I had that.
I did it.
I
You
did.
did? I thought you
No,
did too.
nope, not
Oh.
the Children of the Corn one. No,
Oh, I thought you
it
did too.
was
I thought we
I
all
think.
had it. It was just mixed up.
Yeah.
Although if we were talking about Stephen King like mini series, not just films, I have to say that I think maybe the worst, or at least I think the weakest, might be The Langoliers.
Yep.
Even though
Yep.
it is weirdly, strangely enjoyable, but we mentioned a good miniseries with Salem's Lot, but the 2000s remake one, not very good.
I would also say maybe what's it called? The Golden Years?
I haven't seen that yet. It's something we
Yeah,
still
that
need to cover
wasn't
for the show.
that
Yeah.
wasn't no. But thank you guys so much. Definitely leave a comment. Definitely check out our previous ranked episodes. We have Final Girls. We have best horror movies from the 1990s, worst remakes. October, we're doing a special one. Bede, you're gonna get killed because I know what you're gonna do. It is Halloween themed horror movies. That's not a Halloween series. I know what you're gonna do, and we're gonna argue.
Indeed.
but
Most
thank you
likely, yeah.
guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a thumbs
Thank
up.
you.
Comment your favorite Stephen King movies and then check us out on the live streams of Bloody Good Time. We'll see you later.
See everybody. Bye.